shake, rattle, and troll.
It's time for the award-winning Shake, Rattle, and Troll.
Yeah, kiss the wife body, grab your favorite pose. Me and the boys gonna shake.
A show for the serious fishermen as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros.
We got the power, we got the speed. We're running wide open on a midsummer breeze. Freshwater, saltwater, watch out, boys. Bass Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. Me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll this morning. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Fortunately, we don't have to put up with the voice of moderation and reason. Special K, a.k.a. JK from the ADA, has decided to go fishing in Washington State. You know and I know he doesn't swim, so that's JK on a rope. So, special guest today, Chief Chris Cantrell from AZGFD. A lot of acronyms. Have you noticed that?
There's always acronyms.
There is. And we have Tommy and Lindsay Jonovich in the house. We have President Greg Kruger of the FLWTBF, the Bass Federation. Jeff Funhelder with naked toes, actually. I'm quite surprised. And Tim Price, what are you doing, running bodyguard for toes over here? It's going to be a long 2 hours. All right, let's get this thing kicked off. We've got some breaking news out of San Diego. Yellowfin are showing up, bluefin are showing up. Yellowfin have been biting like crazy, so we'll have a little bit of an update from Captain Bill on the good ship Malahini about 7:30. We've got, unfortunately, 2 fallen law enforcement officers for roll call today. Pretty uncomfortable ongoing issue, but let's get this thing kicked off. What's new and exciting from your particular department?
Well, one of the biggest things we got going on right now is stocking up in the high country. We've got 200...
Would you do me a favor? Since Jeff is here, don't start talking about stockings. He gets pretty excited, wants to go to Victoria's Secret. And can we just call it putting more fish in the water?
Yeah, that's the campaign, is more fish.
You think your size has saved you up until this point, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Go fish for more fish. We'll put it that way.
Nice.
So, yeah, obviously we've had a great winter. Lots of water coming to, the Verde River was like 300% above normal, above average. And everything's filled up on Anderson Mesa, Williams, all the way through the White Mountains, and we're stocking the heck out of it. So
crazy.
We got about 250,000 fish between trout and catfish coming across the state between now and the end of June. So go get your license.
What about largemouth?
Oh, there are some largemouth.
There
are some largemouth in the
trout, catfish, and he just goes on.
He's got a short memory. He forgot that we just stocked Florida strain and Roosevelt.
Well, those were just a little bitty. Those aren't going to come into play for a couple of years.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. So it should be a great early spring, early summer, or late spring, early summer, and no reason not to go fish. Take your kids fishing up there.
Exactly. Well, you guys are doing a good job. Let me switch over to Tommy and Lindsay. Thanks for coming down. I understand you guys are doing some good stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we've had a really good year. It's been a fun year, really. Fishing seems like it's just better this year. It seems like it was tougher, but better. It seems like the bites we've been getting all year long seem like they've just been better quality thanks to, obviously the game fish and, and the guys that are running the tournaments and stuff that.
Don't start sucking up.
Dude, I don't need to suck up.
Okay, I know. Jonovich, you saw the water, you got a battle.
They take good care of the fish. And if it wasn't for that, it'd be tough to, keep that good strain.
Well,
going.
That's one thing I want to talk about. Bass Junkies is doing just an outstanding job on fish care. They put a lot of money into all the nuances of keeping our fish alive, and greatly appreciate it. And it doesn't go unnoticed or overlooked.
Don't start sucking up, Don.
Yeah, I know. Well, they sent me this picture of this new Habitat boat. It looks like something it's a nice boat.
Yeah.
But it looks like something you'd see on swamp people down in the, swatting gators.
Well, I am from Texas.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, that is a cool boat. We got a 35-foot monster habitat boat that should be delivered this week to Game and Fish. We ordered it from somewhere back. I think it's Missouri.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah. Hey, it's a huge tri-tune, and that's what we need. We got all those concrete fish structures we're going to load on there. It's got a big old crane that'll slide that out front and 70-foot cable.
I thought that was a shooting platform.
Yeah. Oh, that would be pretty fun, too.
Where are you guys putting that in at?
Those are all going into Roosevelt to start, but we've got compliance on Apache, Canyon, Saguaro, and Bartlett. So we're phasing that in, starting at Roosevelt, trying to get, I think we have over 200 of the concrete structures that plan to go in, about 10 acres worth of Roosevelt Lake. So all of those back coves we've mapped out and came up with a really good plan to strategically place these different habitats. And we're looking at a whole bunch of different kinds. We got the mossback fish rack structures.
Crankbait getters.
Yeah. We got Georgia cubes and fish hiding structures, and then we've got those concrete fish balls. So we're strategic. We're placing some together, and then we're also evaluating which ones are working better. So we've got certain coves that'll just have Georgia cubes and see how, they're attracting fish versus some of the others. And it'll be a learning process at the same time as us moving forward with good management.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you going to have GPS waypoints available for
We
sale?
are, yeah. We're putting together some mapping applications for our anglers. If you guys are familiar with Recreational Access Arizona, it's that map that you get with the iSupport Wildlife membership with Game and Fish. And we're looking to do this on fishing, where we can put in all of the contour mapping that we're doing. We're mapping all the reservoirs, and then we're also identifying all the habitats across those lakes, and so as well as the facilities and boat ramps and where all that's at. So it'll kind of be a comprehensive mapping application that should come out in about a year.
That's cool.
When do the reef balls start going in?
They will start going in this fall. Those concrete fish structures. Yep.
What's your theory behind water levels and placement of these things?
Well, what we did is we looked at the last 20 years of reservoir operations there, and we picked where 75% was underwater. And right now they'll probably be about 40 to 70 feet down. But as the reservoirs come down,
sure,
for the most part, they'll be underwater and usable. And they'll just create a lot of habitat back in these coves. Obviously, our reservoirs drop off pretty quickly. So.
They do. We're suffering from global warming, as the government tells us. And Montana just had 12 inches of snow. Denver got inundated with snow. So go figure.
Well, it's good for us. Getting those reservoir levels up is good for fishing long term. I was getting a little worried at Roosevelt when it was down below 40%.
It's getting pretty scary. What about the recent golden alga blow up on Apache?
Yeah, this is about a third call that we've had this winter, and that's concerning. Last time we saw fish kills like this was in 2003. 2004 was when we lost all three reservoirs, Apache Canyon and Saguaro. So we're on high alert at Apache. We went up there and took a look at it. Conductivity is over 1,800. When you get over 1,800, that's when you start seeing golden algae proliferate. It'll explode. And what we saw is between 3 Mile and Burnt Corral, we had pretty big fish kill.
Are you calling it localized or? Yeah, beyond that.
Yeah, right now we're seeing it localized. Most of the bass, we talked to some bass anglers. Monterey was up there, I think, week before that weekend, and then midweek was on Wednesday, and they were saying they were catching fish all up in the river above 3 Mile, and those bass are just sitting there, trying to get out of that golden algae bloom and out of those toxins. But yeah, we saw quite a bit of fish that were dead right around Burnt Corral to 3 Mile.
Are you able to keep that contained at all?
How
do you deal with that with the current rolling through and that thing being pushed down the lake and stuff?
Well, they're not releasing right now, and we think that may be a little bit of the problem. The conductivity in Roosevelt's about 1,400, so kind of getting a flushing effect might be beneficial. So We've been in conversations with SRP on switching over, and we'll talk some more with them this next week. We think that might help keep it down. If we can get through June, then I think that summer temperature will kill the golden algae, and the blue-green algae will take over.
The heat doesn't cause it to grow?
It somehow does better in colder water, and so as the reservoirs warm up, we'll see the blue-green algae take over, and that'll hopefully keep that at bay.
Any thought on what triggered the golden alga blow up?
The high conductivity and the lack of water coming through, because they're trying to get horseshoe down so they can take advantage of all the water on the Verde side. So
that's a good theory. Just blow on past that. Don't get me started.
All right.
All righty. Well, that golden alga, that's some nasty stuff. It kind of reminds me of my ex-wife. Gets aggravated and gets very toxic and evil. So then you flush it. All right. That said, we're going to flip into a break, take some of our sponsors, and when I get back, I'm probably going to pay for that. We'll be right back. All righty, we're back. Let's switch gears and get away from the chief here for just a minute and go to Tommy and Lindsay. You know what? You've become quite a threat here on Arizona waters. Great job. Congratulations. And, when you're on the water, everybody's going like, oh, shit, he's back. So what's your assessment of Bass Junkies and all the stuff that TBS is doing across the board?
We were talking about this the other night, and it's been a long time since we've had a good circuit in Arizona. There used to, when we used to get these 100-boat fields and stuff like that, the tournament organizations seemed like they were ran pretty good. You weren't always real sure where the money was going, for sure, because there's so many boats and it was hard.
Well, if it was All-Star, we know which casino it was going to. If it was Rich Schultz, it went to Mattazell.
Man, you got a shovel. You just keep digging yourself a hole. Ex-wife, other teams. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, is what it is. Political correctness is evaporated with Obama getting booted out of office. And, I'm just saying.
Yeah. We can touch on religion later. So no, with
praise the Lord and pass the bullet. Yeah.
I was talking, me and Lindsay were talking about it, and what's really cool, what I like about Bass Junkies in particular, is that you have fishermen running, they're actually running the circuit.
That's a scary thought.
I think it's awesome.
It is.
Because it's not just, some guys that just want to make a bunch of money or make a dime on the weekend. They're doing it because they love it, and by doing that, they show a lot of respect to the
only thing that bugs me about it is they're kind of getting away from hot dogs.
Oh, thank God, yeah. That's
as you know, forever, you go out, you pay your money, take your chances, end up with a $250 sweatshirt in the wintertime or a hat. Mm-hmm. But you always get a hot dog.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Fish the Bassmasters Classic for millions of dollars. You come in off the water, you get a hot dog.
I know. Bass Junkies like a steak or a pizza or
something. Now we're talking carne asada. Yeah, dude.
It's just beer now. I don't know why they're not serving beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Beer before lunch. I like it. Well, that leads some credence to keeping your live well cool down.
That's right.
Nice.
No, but I don't know. When you say something, Lindsay, about Bass Junkies, you love talking about them at home.
Yeah. Well, I do. I like the guys. Obviously, I do a lot of social media and shout outs about them, but it wasn't really about them. I didn't actually know them when we first started fishing for them or fishing for the tournaments. There was just a tournament, and I said, "Hey, let's fish it together." That wasn't easy with Tommy because Tommy has his choice of any co-captain or co-voter.
He's smart enough to know when that particular question is laid upon the table, there's only one answer, and that's yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It took me a long time to learn that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't an easy conversation.
No,
but,
it was hard right away.
Yeah.
Just doing it was hard, because you were always like, oh, it's awesome, you get to fish with your wife. Like, yeah, well, it's fun. But what's really cool about it, though, is that, you know, you have your marriage on your on the water, which is cool. You have your
19
wife,
feet away from each other.
Yeah, but then you also have your marriage on the water, so it kind of, you know, it can go both ways. So we at first, probably the first 2 or 3, it was really hard. Yeah, it was really, really frustrating. We won one. I don't think we said a word on the way home on the first one. But after that, just kind of accepting, you know, that you know, just, you know, knowing each other's role on the boat, you know, and it's like that in anything in life.
Is there any chest pounding from the back of the boat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a great partner.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's actually pretty special.
Yeah, it is really neat. 'Cause, you know, when life, on a serious note, you know, when life's all said and done, you know, you have all the memories that you have are usually made with people. And
Thank
if you
you
can make
very
it
much.
With your wife is pretty cool.
You know, that's J.K. and I have joined the Gray Beard Club. Mr. Kruger over there is either painting or is a next member.
Next member.
Next member. And you're right. At the end of it, it's about the relationships we build because, you know, obviously we're not going to be able to do all the stuff that we're doing right now forever. And we're going to be hanging out on the porch, drinking a beer, picking on Jeff for having things painted on his toes. And
Yeah.
Tim, I'm not even going to talk about that. We'll save that for the next 2 hours.
You wear toe rings?
I do. I do. That was.
I got
Hey, I'm totally good.
You just keep throwing me under
Look,
the bus there.
hey, I'm a big boy.
Reality.
I'm a big boy. I got my Grand Slam of Marlins one day, and was presented that from the domestic of Homeland Tranquility, as it were, and you know, honored to have that. And yeah, I mean, you take it in the teeth, and you know, I taught martial arts for 15 years, 200 pounds, usually armed, so bring it.
Yes, sir.
You're just trying to pick a fight with those things, aren't you? Is that the idea?
Yeah, cool. You know, we got a choice. We can go out in the parking lot. We can shake hands, be big boys. We can throw a rock, swing bat, shoot bullets. You know, just like what? Who cares?
I'm wearing tennis shoes today, not waders.
Really? You got anything to add to this, Chief? You got any toe rings, tattoos, and want to come up?
No, I don't, Don.
That should be a hiring criteria for the department. Yeah, if you don't have tattoos, you can work for fisheries. If you do, you have to go work for non-game.
Oh.
I'm not. How many tattoos do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
7.
I'm done. Jeff wants to go to breakfast.
Right.
I got to get more tattoos. All right, so you guys are doing a hell of a job out there, and I'm really serious. Arizona is blessed with some really, really, really good anglers.
Absolutely.
You guys are up there right on the top of the list. How much time do you spend pre-fishing? As a rule, just
It's always nice to get a day, you know.
Yeah.
If you can get a sun up to sundown thing, you know, it's usually good if for a 1-day tournament, you know. But no, I'm with you on that. Arizona does have, I think, some of the best anglers in the country. I've fished around the country a little bit to see that the fishing in Arizona is obviously really difficult. You know, if you can catch them in 75 feet in gin clear water or up shallow or whatever, or dirty water, you go back east, it's, you know, KVD 1.5 square bill. Jig, that's it.
You know, they gripe about fishing deep. It's like 6 feet.
How do I drop shot a 1.5 square bill? Like, you know, so no, if you can hang in Arizona, in my opinion, you know, you take us guys and you know anybody in Arizona and put them up against anybody else in the state. I think we fare pretty good. So most of the best anglers, you know, come from.
Well, I know you're getting a pretty good reputation out there. I was talking to my buddy Ron Kirsten, and we were talking about. You know, just a lot of stuff. You know, he was whining about the fish kill, and I totally get that, and griping about cruiser fishing up the river. And I said, so what's your tactic going into the next tournament? He says, I'm following Jonovich.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Oh yeah, that's flattering, but it's not one. You know, it's just been, you know, when you get, it's a hot and cold sport. You know, when you start, when it's going your way, like it's like you can do nothing wrong. You know,
that can change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it really can. You know, because you can have these flurries of just wins, but you appreciate it because it need to be. To me, it's always been, you know, being just as humble when you lose as when you win, because your day is gonna. The fish can jump off, the fish can not eat. But when it's going your way, man, it just feels like there's this.
Well, we've seen too many guys, and when you first start out, you're filled full of enthusiasm, chest pounding before the launch, and then too many times you're just like load and go.
Yeah. Now, it gets exciting when we get to take off and stuff like that. I remember when I first started fishing. You'd scream and holler down the lake. You're so excited. At the end of the day, you're just like, oh my gosh, get me off this water. It's horrible, But like you said, it's been a really fun year. Been a lot of. I'm the person like a run and gun guy. Like you pick a bank and let me fish that.
Go.
Out, So, but we've done really well this year with off the beaten path stuff for us. It's been back to old school stuff, fishing slow but fast. Yeah. Fishing drop shots, fishing jigs and stuff like that, slowly but moving quickly. And that seems to be how we.
Lindsay, what's your favorite techniques?
Anything reaction or top water.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't like drop shotting at all.
Yep. A personality.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes it needs to be done. We were fishing a tournament on Friday night, and it happened to be our biggest fish. It was a giant 2-pounder. You should have saw this thing. It was a 206, massive fish. But I caught this thing just dragging a drop shot, and I was just, I think I just got done taking a leak or something like that, whatever. And I pick up my rod tip, and it's heavy. It's on there.
This is Bass Fishing 101.
Yeah. And I pick it, and I didn't even set the hook. I start reeling in real fast, thinking I have him, and I flip him in the boat, and the hook never even came out of the worm. So it was just, having to slow down. It's been really frustrating, but it's been working.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, that's the good stuff. I'm glad you guys are here. This is pretty fun. We're going to flip into a break, see if we can get a hold of Captain Bill on the good ship Malahini, see what the West Count Fish Coast's doing. We'll be right back. Yeah, man, Bungalow Bill on the left coast. What's happening, Brother Bill?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I still can't get over that intro.
That is so you.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, so what's happening?
All right with it.
What's happening over there? I'm looking at the Old Glory. It looks like you guys only had one boat out. They had 24 guys and whacked 120 yellowtail. You know how far down run they went?
That I'm not sure. I've been swamped, but no pun intended.
That's a bad thing for a captain.
Dealing with the Malahini, trying to get things squared away with her. Fishing for this past week has been okay from what I understand. I understand the chief is taking our run until we get back in the water, and I have no idea, honestly, of what's been going on out on the water. I'm actually looking at reports as we speak right now, trying to get an understanding of what's been going on. With the Malahini, we're in dry dock. I'm sure as everyone knows, it's all over Facebook and everything else.
Oh, really? He got a lot of social media.
Yeah, what happened was, I guess, we hit something on the 11th of April, and the immediate response or immediate thing that we noticed was that the sonar dome was busted. We got through that and got that replaced, and then we started to see some leakage up on the starboard bow, forward chine area. And we got that addressed, and then it proceeded to move back towards stern and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we got Coast Guard involved, hauled the boat out, and that's where we sit right now.
Yikes.
For the most part.
Well, good luck on that.
I'm hoping our insurance covers everything. We'll be good to go, as we believe it was caused by impact. Whatever we hit almost sheared the sonar dome off. The operator calls me at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're talking. I'm like, he goes, the sonar stopped working. Okay. Why did the sonar stop working? I'm not sure. Check the fuses. Yes. Okay, so I go down to the boat, and the boat gets in, I go down and do all my stuff that I need to do, and everything's taken care of, and I notice there's water in the junction box. That holds the control board for the sonar. Not a good thing. I dump all the water out, take the cord, wrap it, and sit it on the ground, thinking that, maybe dry it out, it'll work tomorrow, come down the next night, the cord that I wrapped in the plastic bag is full of water. Tells me, okay, water seeping up through the cord. Great. Get a diver down there, dives underneath the boat. Sonar dome's almost sheared in half. Yeah. Fun stuff.
Man, well, over here we call them UFOs, underwater floating objects.
Yeah.
Holy crap! What do you think? Did you hit a whale? Or you bump
I
into?
think it was a whale, probably on a descent or something, because he tells me he didn't feel anything. You know, I don't remember hitting nothing. I didn't hit nothing. Honestly, I didn't hit nothing. You know, I pull a sonar dome out, take a look at it, and like, okay, yeah, you hit something.
Yeah, man.
You know, and there's also some, you know, scuff marks or bump marks on the hull where the impact was, and it also screwed up our port shaft, and it's just no winning for no winning, no losing for winning, no winning for losing, however that term goes.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I totally get it.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, we're blessed. You know, everything's all right. Everybody has their arms and their legs, and we're going to try and get it repaired, get back in the water.
Yeah, boy. What are you hearing about yellowfin? They've been on, they're off. You know, they were.
There was a few yellowfin caught on a 2-day boat about a week and a half ago, from what I understand. But that's the most I've heard of it. I've had it this way. It doesn't normally show up till about the first, second week of July. And it starts to get really busy, July, August, September. And full steam in September through about the first, second week of November. Then it kind of goes away. Well, not kind of goes
Anybody
away.
whining about the big grade of bluefin going through and trashing stuff?
No. No, I think it's cool.
Okay. That's good stuff. All right. Well, the main thing is we just keep coming and get a hold of Rick over there at H&M, get signed up for the boat, and just go fishing.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but if you like to fish with us, we probably won't be back online until probably, I'm going to say, the end of the month at best. You know, we're still waiting to hear back from the insurance company. They're lagging, but that is what that is, you know. Welcome to the world of dealing with insurance.
Well, that and boats, you know, it's, you know, I think it was pretty much displayed on Top Gun. They said if you fly jets long enough, yeah, if you run boats long enough, yeah, you're going to bump into something.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
there it is.
All right, well,
okay.
God bless you. We'll talk to you this time next week.
All right, Bubba. Hey, you guys have a great day. And I like your guest today talking about bass fishing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about sanitation habits on a bass boat here real briefly.
Yeah.
Let's not.
That was kind of, oh, really?
Yeah.
Break out of that water, dude. No.
Oh, over the rail.
Hey, you got to go, I guess.
Well, good thing you and I have never done that, so I'm just saying.
Never have.
Never have. All right. God love you, Captain Bill.
Hey, love your show.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Well, we appreciate you. You're a big part of it. It's just going to get better. So, all right. Next week, Captain Bill. Check him out at hmlanding.com. And the opportunity to fish is certainly time is upon us. So, yellowtail, yellowfin popping up, the bluefin. Chris, they've been having 25, 35-pound bluefin being caught. And like last year, right in the middle of these little fish, here comes 100, 150-pound class just trashing everybody on the boat. It's frightening. And I'll be anxious to see what JK's done. JK was up. They were pulling on 30, 32-pound salmon. So
I'd be interested to hear what JK was.
I would like
doing.
to be just a little speck on the windshield just to watch that whole episode. I'm just saying, here we have a guy that can't swim. He drives a Prius. He's a very acclaimed elk caller, spotter. But JK on a boat, you got to tie him to a rope. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, we pound on him on that Prius, but I want to tell you, that Prius gets us some places you just go, what? So.
He's
All right.
saving money on gas, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to up to one of your commission meetings. Well, I guess we were in Sholo for something. $8.40
Nice.
round trip. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All righty. What's the next big event for you guys?
The Bass Junkies Championship at Martinez, 2-day event. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Ooh, that's a fun lake.
Yeah, it's in the very beginning of September, so hopefully there's something going on. Hopefully there's some summer stuff still happening. I've only been there a handful of times, but it's an awesome place. But
It is.
It's really hit or miss with the current and the
And you
levels
should
and
do
everything.
well down there throwing frogs. Wink,
Yeah.
wink, nod, nod.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, don't say frogs around here. She start
Yeah.
ribbiting all around the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you have any sponsors you want to talk about?
Yeah, few.
Woo.
Woo. Yeah, Woo Tungsten. They, I've thrown a lot of tungsten and stuff like that. This stuff actually is not because we're a part of them. We chose to be a part of them because we were already using it. Because the tungsten, like the head of it and the base of it, it's rounded. It doesn't have the insert that you normally need to keep your line from breaking. You can
Right.
fill that thing on 8-pound fluorocarbon if you want. You'll have no problem. So, Woo Tungsten. Bad Bass Baits. They've actually been pretty good. We've won some money on them this year with their creature baits and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, their stuff. They make a lot of I like their creature baits the best, actually.
Right.
That's type of a brush hog kind of a thing. They're pretty awesome. I like them a lot.
So when you guys are engaged in tournament play, how do you change up your techniques? You're talking about creature baits and your reaction fishermen. How does that work out between the two of you?
He tells me what to tie on, and most of the time I listen.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're lucky.
I think the
It took a while
buzzword
to get there.
is
I was like, no,
most
pick
of
one.
the
Like, that's not
time.
gonna work.
I was honest. I said most of the time.
Most of the time. She's getting better at it.
when she feels like it.
Yeah, no.
If it's convenient.
No,
Nah,
because it
still-
takes me longer to catch something if I don't listen to him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
And you're admitting that in public?
I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
No, changing it up. I love fishing reaction. That's how I'd like to catch them.
Yeah.
I'm a big chatterbait guy, spinnerbait,
Yeah, boy.
all that kind of stuff. But it's just really just adapting to what you feel like is going on. Just listening to your gut, what's happening, and if you need to slow down, you slow down. If you can catch them going fast, that's how I'd like to do it. But
Yeah, boy. Running and gunning. All right. We're going to thank some of our sponsors once more, and then we'll come back a little bit more information. And then roll call for May 21st.
Don't go away. More of Shake, Rattle, and Troll is coming up.
Thanks for calling Grand Avenue Mini Storage. We are located at 3636 West Grand Avenue. We have units ranging from 4 foot by 4 foot all the way up to a 20 by 20. Yes, sir. I do think the 4 foot by 4 foot will hold all of your IRS crashed hard drives. No, sir. I don't think the 20 by 20 will hold all the people the White House has thrown under the bus, but do have room for that bus. Grand Avenue Mini Storage. Call us at 602-246-0680. 602-246-0680.
This segment brought to you by Roadrunner Reality Shed Buffet Rigs. Don't throw them a sandwich, throw them a buffet.
Ever heard the phrase, don't move a muscle? Now it's the law. Well, it's the prime boating season, and the Arizona Game and Fish Department reminds everyone that invasive quagga mussels can attach themselves to your boat, and you can spread them to other waters if you don't take certain precautions. If you're boating at Havasu, Pleasant, Mojave, or Meade, help stop the spread of these destructive mussels by pulling your plug and cleaning, draining, and drying your entire boat after each outing. It's not only the law, it's the right thing to do. Visit azgfd.gov for more information.
First impressions happen only once. I'm Susan Hoffman, owner of the new Chameleon Salon. Let me create the hair design and style to make your first impressions last. Our new location is located at 2334 North Scottsdale Road, Suite A126 in Scottsdale Oak Plaza Shopping Center, just north of Oak and Scottsdale Road. Let me create the best first impression you've ever had. I'm Susan Hoffman at the New Chameleon Salon in Scottsdale.
This segment of Shake, Rattle, and Troll is brought to you by Gun Protect. Total corrosion protection for your weapons and ammo at the molecular level. For more information, visit mygunprotect.com.
Here is a great way to help Arizona's wildlife conservation efforts. Put an AZ Wildlife Conservation license plate on your car, truck, or RV and show the world you care. When you do, you are contributing to the AZ Wildlife Conservation Fund, which manages grants for habitat improvements and hunter-angler recruitment. Simply go online to servicearizona.com and select the AZ Wildlife Conservation plate for your license plate renewal. Show the world you care.
Are you interested in helping deer and other wildlife in Arizona while becoming a better hunter? Come join us, the Arizona Deer Association, and let's work together to help improve and preserve deer herds and habitat in Arizona. Some of our habitat projects include water catchments, clearing scrubs and other damaging vegetation, and even reseeding areas to provide better habitat for deer. These projects benefit all wildlife. Our youth camps provide junior deer hunters with skills they need to be successful in the field, such as finding game and field dressing their trophy. Our youth camp is an outdoor experience for the whole family. The Arizona Deer Association is a nonprofit, volunteer-run organization by people from all walks of life, coming together to preserve deer herds and habitat in our state. Join now and make a difference by actively supporting mule and white-tailed deer in Arizona. For more information, please visit azdeer.org. That's azdeer.org. Thank you.
Pleasant Harbor Marina is under new ownership and is now open to the public. Pleasant Harbor Marina is located on the east shores of Lake Pleasant at the Pleasant Harbor RV Resort. We feature covered and uncovered slips, indoor stack storage, dry and economy storage, overnight slips, and courtesy docks. Boat fuel and maintenance services are available. We rent sport and pontoon boats, jet skis, and kayaks. Want a guided fishing trip? Well, we have it. The Marina Village includes the waterfront grill with a menu of new and tasty selections and your favorite cool beverage. The Village Market has your boating and fishing supplies, and the Azul Boutique Shop offers fashionable swim, lounge, and boating wear. Now open to the public 7 days a week. For more information, visit us at Lake Pleasant. Enter through Pleasant Harbor RV Resort for Pleasant Harbor Marina.
All righty, we're back. A couple things for the Jonovich team over here. I'm still kind of curious. How long have you been fishing?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. And yourself?
Since my dad took me on, I was 5. Tournaments probably
forever.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably 10 years tournaments.
Okay. Yeah. How long did it take you to integrate your two styles?
We're still working on it.
Yeah, I'm teaching her the style. So she's got to figure out how she likes fishing fast, you know.
Okay.
I had to.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep up with the
trolling
motor.
Well, you have to follow the lead, but it's really difficult fishing as a co-angler. Yeah. You know, keeping depending on where your skill set is.
Yeah.
You know, I've had guys that Barry Lewis comes to mind. He and I had basically two philosophies on catching fish. He was a mojo guy, and back then drop shot wasn't drop shot. Then it was mojo magic and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And we developed just a whole technique. He was able to do what he wanted to do, and I'd drive him nuts with crankbaits, spinner blades, topwater, that kind of thing. And it worked out well, especially on Pleasant. As you know, that's a very, very difficult lake to get the hang of in just about the time. Pleasant's like riding a motorcycle. You get the hang of it, you get really confident, and then it will kick your butt just when you least expect it.
Love-hate relations.
Well, the guy that comes to mind was Dennis Curry. Dennis always beating his chest before the tournament. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And next thing you see is those Ford taillights coming to a pinprick at the end. But it's real serious. We go down the bank, burning with crankbaits and spinner blades, and he would strategically hit little pockets with these creature baits and what have you. It worked out well.
Yeah, it takes two. You can be really, really effective, even with the trolling motors on 80, and then the guy in the front's throwing a crankbait or a blade or, anything, the person on the back can fish slow on 80. They can pitch a drop shot. They can cast ahead of the boat on the deep side.
Yep.
Yeah, because, that's how I was taught. When you first started fishing, you're always in the back of the boat. You're dealing with the co-angler problems, with the tangled rods and the snags and break it off and all that. But it can be, you can win off the back of the boat.
Yeah.
You can catch the 5 big ones on the back of the boat.
Yep.
But it takes two, takes one guy to put the fish on the line, the other one to put it in the net, and both are actually pretty important. There's a lot of, when people say, oh, I was just a net guy all day long or whatever. Well, how many stories have you heard? Like, I tried flipping the boat, hit the side of the boat, and he fell off. So the person with the net is just as important as the person with the fish on the line.
What are you saying?
Saying you're awesome with the net. No, I'm joking. She's done really good. She always pulls one out. Like, when we need one more, she always seems to catch it for us. She does good.
That sucking noise, ladies and gentlemen, is Tommy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I'll suck up to her for sure.
Not a problem. Line, rods, technique, what do you prefer, Lindsay?
Line, rods.
What kind of rods you like throwing?
Well, I throw Dobbins because of you, but...
Dobbins rods are awesome.
Yeah, I like Daiwa.
Yeah, she likes Daiwa.
And the Taipan.
Mm-hmm. The Dobbins rods, they got this new line out called the Fury. They're only like $110, and you can get umbrella rig rods, drop shot rods, jerkbait rods, jig rods. And they're like $110, and they're virtually indestructible. The other lines I've had issues with, but they're like actually the cheapest model they have, and it's just as sensitive. They're awesome.
See where they're picking his toes? Stop it.
They need to be picked.
Oh my gosh. Toenail magic. I love it. You just get hammered. God love you.
Yeah, I just heard a bus drive through, right? It got plowed over.
Have you ever seen this guy with socks on? Ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he wears shoes at the tournament.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all good. Yeah, Dobbins has been doing a good job. What about crankbaits? What's your theory on crankbaits as far as coloration and depth?
I think people, and including myself, seem to get, they say colors, sell fishermen.
It does.
It's kind of like, it's really, I like throwing wider chartreuse. It's like one of the two.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of the two. It's like anything else. You get this one doesn't have any flake in it. This one doesn't have it. It's like, it's going by their face 100 miles an hour. But I'm not a big crankbait guy. There's a time and a place for it. But,
sure.
I'd rather throw a square bill or something like that. The shallower stuff, I think, color does matter a little bit, but it has more to do with the action. So it's really tough to be like a Strike King crankbait or just a Norman or something
Any
like
theory
that.
on eyes, coloration, type of eyes?
Like the actual eyes on the bait?
Yeah. I'm huge on 3D eyes.
Yeah, I like it on
difference.
shallow stuff for sure. Like on on spinner baits, even on chatterbaits. Lots of times with taking a bigger eye. There's even on swim baits, I usually pop the eyes off, put bigger eyes on it in general.
Well, I got you the eyes from the craft store, the little
Yeah.
googly eyes, and we glued those on.
Yeah.
It
Really?
works great. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. And actually, if
Google
you
eyes. I never
shake
thought
them a little
about
bit,
that.
they make some noise.
I'll stop at Michael's on the way. Nice.
Hashtag Michaels.
Yeah.
Please.
Are you learning anything, Chief?
Am I? Oh yeah, absolutely.
About tattoos and toes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Squirrel.
I mean, we're not talking about squirrels.
Don can't keep focused over here. He keeps looking at somebody's toes.
Well,
What do you think about that? Squirrel!
oh,
Gotta love him. He's awesome.
not too long ago.
Squirrel.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. We're going to tighten this up. If you would, we're going to do a roll call. It's unfortunately something that we do that's extremely uncomfortable today. The good news is we don't have any officers killed soldiers killed in action. We do have 2 fallen law enforcement officers. The first one we'll tell you about is Chief of Police Stephen Eric DeSario. Passed away on Friday, May 12th, age 36 years old. He was Chief of Police. there in Kirksville, Ohio. And he was shot and killed while responding to an armed subject outside a nursing home. And the subject was also found deceased inside the nursing home. Chief Osorio had only served with the Kirksville Police Department for 3 weeks and is survived by his expectant wife and 6 children. Chief?
Deputy Sheriff Mason Moore. Deputy Sheriff was shot and killed on Tuesday, May 16th, 2017, while conducting a traffic stop on Highway 287 south of I-90. Deputy Moore served the Broadwater County Sheriff's Office for 3 years. He is survived by his wife and 3 children.
This is an ongoing issue, guys. Support the guys in blue. It's a very thin line for these guys, and as always, our sympathies and heartfelt condolences go out to their family and certainly the units that they work for. I'm Don McDowell. We'll be back.
It's time for the award-winning Shake, Rattle, and Troll. A show for the serious fishermen as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros.
We got the power, we got the speed, we're running wide open on a midsummer breeze. Freshwater, saltwater, watch out, boy. Bass Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. It's me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and
now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
All righty, we're back. Thanks for tuning in to the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. If you're just joining us, we have the Fisheries Branch Chief, Chris Cantrell from AZGFD. We have Team Jonovich in the house. We have the President of the TBF, Mr. Kruger, Jeff Funhelder, and Tim Price from Bass Junkies, and we're having just way too much fun. Joining us right now is the flotilla commander, Captain Dave Esparza. And, Captain, before we get started, I do want to recognize Kathy Mason, the 15-year veteran of the Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 1011, who passed away earlier this week. We should have done that in roll call, and I appreciate the heads up on that. Thanks for joining us. What's happening out on the water?
Well, right now at Saguaro Lake, it's a little slow. We've got our boat set up. We have 2 patrol boats going out today. We're doing our dock walkers program to enlighten the boaters about boating safety.
Dock walkers, is that, wait a minute, is that a legal activity?
It is.
All right.
It depends on the uniform, I guess.
Yeah, right on. You do that in San Diego, you get arrested for solicitation.
That's true.
From what I hear.
But we're trying to enlighten the boaters so that they can understand the rules and regulations. You know, it's a tough road, as you know, trying to get people into class to get educated. So it's something we won't give up on, no matter what.
Well, you know, safety out on the water is absolutely paramount. I don't care who you are, whether you're a personal watercraft guy or a bass fisherman. All those kinds of things. We're
all sharing the water together.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's just pretty interesting, as was observed yesterday, the attitude. Most of the folks are pretty cognizant of the issues out on the water, but boy, I'll tell you what, there's a whole bunch of them that just don't give a damn one way or another.
It's unfortunate you have to make that statement, but you've got boaters that will thank you a dozen times for the simplest little thing helping them. Here's a new life jacket from the Life Jacket Exchange Program through Game and Fish. Or you inspect their boat and find something wrong with it, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was supposed to be that way or this way, and they fix it, and they thank you, and they thank you, and they thank you. And the next guy tells you you better go get the kite out of the back of your truck and go fly it. He doesn't care.
Not that I like to do it, but I want to put the chief on the spot. What are your thoughts on mandatory boat operators licenses?
Well, I think that one life is too many, and I think everything we should do to make sure we educate boaters before they get out there, it's important. We see it every year. We see somebody, a mistake happen, and unfortunately mistakes take lives. So
Dave, according to, excuse me, Commander, I didn't mean to get real personal with you. According to the Coast Guard statistics, we have 5 of the most dangerous waterways in the lower 48s. Is that correct?
Yeah, and most people don't realize that. We have the entire Colorado River chain touching Arizona, from Lake Powell on down to the I-10 freeway. There's the Colorado River right there. You've got multiple states doing multiple things. People coming from California over, people from Arizona going somewhere else. It's just a big mismatch of experiences, and it turns out being deadly every time.
Well, with the folks coming in from California, that's just one more reason to build a wall, I think. So.
Yeah, I suppose we could do that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, bottom line, they're boaters, and boaters are supposed to look out for each other.
Okay, have we got watch vessels on Canyon again today?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we have one boat on Canyon today, and they're doing the dock walkers program, inspecting boats, doing the life jacket exchange still today. And then we're getting ready to set up and start ours in just a few minutes. So.
Okay, good. What about Pleasant? Have we got folks up on the...
Yes, we have folks on Pleasant. There's, I think, 4 boats on Pleasant this weekend.
Okay.
So they're up there patrolling, doing the life jacket exchange, vessel examination, and they're doing some training like we were doing yesterday.
Good deal. All righty. Well, God bless you. You guys stay safe out there. At the end of your day, is there a hot dog involved?
I have a fresh pack of hot dogs in the refrigerator right now.
Nice. All right. You're a good man. We just get some rod holders on that Boston Whaler. We're going to get you. We're going to get you converted.
I've got 4 rocket launchers on there.
I said rod holders, not rocket launchers. That's just like you, Commander. All right. God bless you. You guys take care out there. Be safe.
Thank you, sir. See you.
All righty. There you have it, Chief. We got Coast Guard all over the place doing your job for you.
That's great. We'll take all the help we can get.
It's a concerted effort trying to be safe on the water. And again, I want to really hand it to the bass fishing community. Those guys are doing a really, really good job. And especially on clean, drain, and dry, I understand that's starting to slip just a little bit. So
slip? What do you mean?
We'll talk about that off the air.
Okay.
Let's just say all the live wells aren't being drained. So, and it happens. They need to be reminded from time to time.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's good stuff. How do you guys at Bass Junkies police boating safety? Is there any boat checks relative to stuff?
Yeah, they do boat checks prior to blast off and stuff like that. Let's let Greg answer that one.
Mr. President, good morning, sir.
Well, I'm double duty. What we do is we go through and we do a live well check, and one of the procedures that we look in there is to make sure that they're dry. Live wells, if we found anybody that has a wet live well, then they have to drain their live well before they get on the lake. Hopefully it was just from pre-fishing on that lake, which is the case with most of the anglers.
Most of the time, yeah.
They just forgot from the day before, but there is a requirement that before they launch, that live well has to be empty. I mean, we're in there checking.
Part of the rule system?
I would say it's not in black and white in our rules. It's what we do as the process. The live well check, it's the only way they can get their boat card in order to check in to get out to fish, is we go out and we check their live well, we mark it off, and after that we release them to go fish. If the live well's wet, I have already held on to boat cards twice waiting for them to drain. Tell them I'll get back to you.
Actually, at Alamo, we were doing the boat checks, and we walked out to one of the last boats being checked, which was Tommy and Lindsay. And when I was walking that way, I was watching Lindsay drain the live well, getting ready to wipe it out before she got on the water.
Nice.
Hey, here's a little helpful tip for some of the folks that are going through these tournaments. You can order them offline. They're 3M absorbent socks, and they're probably about 2 feet long. You could throw those things in there, and they will soak up all your water. It's pretty good. And you can actually throw it in. It'll soak up any of the oil that's in the bottom of the boat too, and that kind of thing. Clean it up pretty nicely, and those work really well.
Interesting.
That's cool.
3M product?
Yeah, it's a 3M product. It's something that we've been purchasing and putting in some of our boats at Cayman Fish.
So you clean, drain, and dry your boat?
No, we got to. I mean, we
I'm
don't.
just checking.
We want to be the solution, not the problem. Yeah, I think we. Have
I
to.
don't know that you have live wells, but your water accumulation, do the boats leak?
Oh, we have live wells. I mean, we do all our electrofishing and that. But yeah, I mean.
Oh, that's fun stuff. You ever been on a electrofishing boat?
I'd love to go on one of those.
All right, let's
I'll
do
tell
it.
you
Let's
what,
do it.
it is so interesting
bet.
to see what actually comes up in the lake. You look at these fish and go, what the hell is that?
Earlier this year, we were on Apache, and one 15-minute section of shocking, we had 143 bass.
Jeez.
In 15 minutes. Yeah.
How do we get one of those?
I don't know, but we'll call it.
Yeah, that ought to be fair game.
All fish were released alive. No fish were harmed in that survey.
So when is the department going to sponsor a fish fry?
Sponsor a fish fry, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
stripers.
Yeah, we've never done that before.
Well, I was discussing with Mr. Crew. We've got to flip into a break, but when we come back, I was thinking perhaps maybe TBF and Bass Junkies could put together some type of an option to raise a few dollars so we could get you a tattoo. I know you won't go willingly, so we'll sedate you and handcuff you. And,
Hey, we raised $3 million for a bass hatchery. I'm in. We put that tattoo on my back.
On your belly.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
There you have it.
Okay. We're out. We'll be right back. All righty, we're back. Most of the listeners know we've been embedded with the United States Border Patrol and CBP running the border, and we went down and ran with your guys, Chief, for a day down in 30.
How is Brad doing?
You know, he's a hell of a guy, and like most of these guys on the border, it takes a special breed of cat to do what they do, especially running solo. And we spent a total of about 5 days down there, expecting to get a bullet in the windshield any time. And I had to laugh at Brad. You know, I went down there with my body armor, and I said, do I really need to drag these side plates around? He goes, nah, just leave them in the truck. So I jumped in, and about an hour and a half later, we're in a pretty dicey-looking place. He goes, where's your side plates? I said, I left them in my truck. He said, I didn't need them. He goes, well, what are you going to do if we get a bullet in the door? Thanks, Brad. So it was pretty interesting, but as media, we've been treated very nicely, and I just want to bring everybody up to speed. Down at San Luis on the 15th, the BPs seized $123,000 in methamphetamines, about 41 pounds. And then on the 17th, down on the Tombstone, they shut down one of the little border inspection stations, and a bad guy came sailing in there, bounced off of the traffic barriers, and when the BP agents went out to see what was going on, they opened fire on him, on the BP agents, and he was promptly airlifted to medical treatment for shooting at the BP guys. Down in Wilcox, they discovered, and again, this was on the 15th, the Wilcox station discovered 10 UDAs or illegals hiding in the back of a pickup truck that had a tonneau cover over it and no way to open it from the inside. I mean, go figure. I don't know how hot it was that day, but then down in the Ajo station, they got a big load of marijuana, 640 pounds, $232,000 estimated wholesale street value, and it's just amazing. Going back, 15th evidently was a really busy day for these guys. They popped a guy trying to get out of the U.S. Down in Nogales that happened to be convicted 3-time convicted sex offender, MS-13 gang member. And these guys are doing their job, and I hope the John Q. Public, I had no idea until we started looking into the situation down there for sportsmen. So, doing a great job. So, anyway, Tommy, I want to respond to something that you were talking about. You know, bass fishing tournaments used to be fun. Bass Junkie is making it fun again.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of camaraderie in years past, and seems like we cut, drafted, and traded some tournament directors, some good, some bad. But you guys coming back, you know, bass fishing needs to be fun. I mean, we spend a lot of money, we invest a lot of money in equipment. You look at the average bass angler with his truck and his boat and rods and reels. There's pretty close to $100,000+
Yeah, it's not a
rolling. No,
it's
not. And we spend a lot of money in preparation and tournament fees and all that kind of thing. And at the end of the tournament, it's always good to get back to the dock safely. And I'm not sure about the carne asada, but I'm kind of an Oscar Mayer guy. You know, just sit down with your fellow competitors and
those are they're your friends. They become your friends. It doesn't matter if it's the 80-year-old guy or the 5-year-old kid that goes to watch the weigh-in. You just start to see the guys and know them, and that's where you don't realize it, but over time you have friends that are twice your age, or other friends that are half your age, But what's neat about, I think, and people have a misunderstanding about us, Lindsay and I, is that we have nothing to do with Bass Junkies. We just so happen to like them, love them, we support them. 10 years ago, when we had big turnouts and stuff like that, fishing was different then, and the bar was held so high in tournament organizations then. It's gotten lower and lower and lower. And what Bass Junkies has done is because they're ran by anglers, and Jeff and Tim and Greg. I mean, these guys, they're fishermen. Most tournament organizations, the guys that are running it or own it, aren't. So these guys put on a really good show. They respect the fishermen. They respect the fish. They respect what you're trying to do, whether you win or lose. They appreciate you because they know that winning can be today and losing could be tomorrow. So they do a really good job running it. But Lindsay and I, we like them a lot. They're good people. The payout's great. They pay the top. It's 1 in 7 as opposed to 1 in 4 or 1 in 5.
Oh yeah,
so,
1 in 7.
Yeah. So when you walk away, you had 30 boats and you won $3,500, and it's hard to find anymore. But they do a really good job running. They take care of the fish, really good in the tanks and the auctionation that they give all the fish, and they do a good job on social media. We love to support them and stuff like that. We're just real blessed to be a part of them. They're really good people. Tree and Jeff in particular, they're just they're good people. And Tim and Greg, when he decides to show up to the tournaments and stuff like that and help out.
Shoot.
No, Greg does a great job. He does a good job on the mic. I don't know why he's not on right now.
Bus.
Here we go.
Sir talks a lot.
Chief, have you been out to any of the tournaments to see the
fish,
I
haven't.
The fish here?
I haven't, but I plan to go in October. Martinez Lake's a little far, for me at least.
Well, next segment we're going to talk about night tournaments. I think it's time you put your big boy shorts on. Either get a toe ring or some toe paint, and I'll take you fishing.
I'll pass.
Yeah, you'll pass.
Hey, and Don, the other thing they do, which I think is really cool, is when you win a tournament with Bass Junkies, I don't care
check that out.
Yeah, they give jerseys away. When you win, everybody likes to have a jersey, and that's the thing, because they're anglers running the tournaments.
I believe
everybody knows
she's
that,
holding up hers.
Yeah, she is. She wanted to wear it, and I was like, well, nobody's going to see her with it. But she wears it all the time. She wears it around the house. Yeah. She loves it.
Only when you ask me to.
Yeah.
Keep it up. It's going to be a long day.
We've won a couple, so we got one that's got a few holes in it.
Cook it in my jersey. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, you're going to get it.
I know.
It's all good.
Yeah, it is.
Let me see the back side of that again. Those are pretty awesome.
Yeah, you got your name on the back and on the front, and all their sponsors and stuff. It's really cool. But now they start doing different colors and stuff like that, like the neons and stuff. It's really cool.
First people, so
that's probably a fun heller thing. Being color coordinated is always good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Nice. When did you guys start the jersey thing? I didn't know about that.
It's been through the night tournaments too, because
the
reason I know it. We have a few.
Well, we need to get these guys in there and start talking about the night. Are you going to fish the night circuit?
They're not doing them. The night stuff they can't. They've got so much to do. They've put so much time, money, and effort and energy with the sponsors and the tournaments and stuff like that. They don't just show up to the tournament with the trailers. Sure. They do so much with their sponsors, and they work so hard to give us what they can give us. Like at the end of the tournament, if you lost, you could walk away with a couple of rods, or you can, nice. Or whatever. They work so hard at it. So I think they're taking it seems like they're taking the summer off. They had a couple tournaments planned out throughout the summer, but they have so much to prepare for with the championship to make sure that everything runs smoothly, because there's a lot of moving parts with who qualifies, which I think we're going to get to in a minute, and who's there, and making sure no errors are made, because, I've been on that side before where you actually were in the money and you actually didn't get your check.
And that is one thing that I'd like to bring up is how well they stick to their rules.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times when somebody said something, and these guys are not only awesome people, they're stand-up guys. They hold on to their rules, and they weigh in. You get to see the weight as they're weighing in. And it's just amazing.
Leaderboard.
Yeah, leaderboard. And there's no room for somebody's getting treated better than somebody else. Like, I'm sure people think that about us, but that's because
no
we're
thumb
friends.
on the scale? Come on.
No, and that's the thing, is that they have such a high standard, and it actually helps us, because then people don't, we aren't treated any differently, and you can tell because it's right there.
Right there, right up front.
Good job.
That's a good thing. All right, when we come back, we'll visit with the chief and the junkie guys and see what's going to happen over on Roosevelt. I'm interested to see what types of habitat we're going to put in. We'll be right back.
Kind of damp. I'm not worried about cutting the grass. Left my truck at the boat ramp, and my boat is full of gas.
All righty, we're back. Brother Guggenauer is down with some ills. We'll forego his report today, unfortunately, but we wish him well. I'm sure he'll be back next week. I believe the Rim Country Custom Rod Fishing Report is posted on our website, shakerattleandtroll.com. Check that out. Chief, let's visit the habitat issue on Roosevelt for a minute. How many different habitats are we going to put in there total? Do you have those numbers?
It's somewhere between 5 and 6, I think, on types of habitat.
Right.
We've got 10 acres of habitat we plan on putting in as a first phase at Roosevelt to evaluate. So, I mean, it's a small portion of the lake, but it's any of those backwaters.
Anything's going to help.
Are going to be, it's going to be huge.
Okay, and then over, you had mentioned the other lakes that you're looking at. What's the time period to start getting habitat in some of the other reservoirs?
Well, the only thing we're limited in right now is resources, manpower, and so, we got our boat coming, so that's another big key thing to help. Instead of towing out one at a time of those big concrete structures, we can put 4 or 5 of them on.
Those 11 to 1,500 pounds a pop.
They're like 3,000 pounds a pop.
Really?
Yeah. It's about I think it's about almost a yard of concrete.
Holy cow! We've poured enough of them. That's good. So you're thinking late October, early October.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've started putting in most of the mossback structures in the Georgia cubes. Actually, in 2 weeks. We're going to have another folks from Game and Fish out there putting more of those things that those habitats, like the ones that we can assemble on our pontoon boats and drop those. We're planning on doing that, and then our boat's going to be here in a few weeks, and then we're really in the business.
Nice. All right, let's switch gears and go to the bass junkies. What are you guys up to? Oh, we got poker chips. We're playing cards. What are we doing?
Not yet.
No cards.
No cards. We're at a point right now. We finished up the season. That concluded at Alamo Lake last week.
And Team Jonovich says no night circuit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What?
Well, I'm going to let Tim step in and talk about that for a minute.
Just step in it. Nice.
Morning, guys. We had 2 events scheduled, but what we decided to do between the sponsors that we've been working on, between some of the things that we want to implement, changing some of the we're going to add extra tubs. We don't want, right now with the tubs that we're running, a couple of times we've had a little backup. So we're going to add more to make sure that everybody's got plenty of room, make sure there's plenty of air stones. There's a lot of things that we need to get accomplished between the championship and between our new season. And
I get it. Yeah.
It's, I mean, every other weekend doesn't give us a whole lot of time. And we've been running and gunning nonstop.
Since summer last year.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, when we started this doing the night event, it was almost every other weekend we were out there at the lake. And we're either hosting a tournament for the TBF, or we were hosting the tournament for the youth. We had the juniors. We had the high school. Yeah, we just did the high school championship yesterday.
Yeah.
And so it's going to give us preparation time to make sure that our season's the best that it can be next year.
I would encourage you, sir, Chief, to go visit one of these and see the protocol they have for fish care.
Well, it's good. I mean, this is truly one of the first times I've heard in Arizona
these
where
guys
folks
are setting the
stepping
bar.
up and putting conservation of these fish over the overhead. And that's important because, I mean, the one thing that bugged me is I've been to a number of tournaments is it's 100 degrees outside. It's 115 on the concrete, and they're setting their bags on it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean, and that's just ridiculous. And
Yeah,
then you got
called
fish floating off the docks and things like
bass.
that.
Yeah.
And just having water and air stones on site that's what all the big tournaments do.
Are you using any type of sedative?
Rejuvenate. Yep. The other side of it is, I mean, we have canopies set up everywhere, not only for the anglers to sit at, but we have canopies covering our tubs to make sure that water doesn't get pounded by the sun.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's exactly what we were looking at as a protocol. And so that's...
Do you want us to help you write the protocol?
Send it over.
Do it.
Send it over. Yeah, we really want to work with Forest and other, like Maricopa County and other places that basically provide the tournament permits to create these types of stipulations.
You're going to bring that up in front of me? Expect me not to respond to that?
You can go for it.
No. I'm already on the no Christmas card list from SRP, Tonto National Forest, Bureau of Land Management. Who'd I miss?
There's quite a few more, Don.
Fish and Wildlife Service. Oh.
You forgot the big one.
No more Sherry Barrett. Okay, Benjamin Tuggle. I understand he's got a application for a greeter at Walmart. Is that true?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Good answers. Good answer. Well, we've got a new director about ready to be seated at Fish and Wildlife Service.
You mean Game and Fish or Fish and Wildlife?
Fish and Wildlife.
Game and Fish, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, but that's going to be a lottery.
A lottery?
Sure. We're going to put a name in a hat, we're going to draw out a poker chip, and there's your new director.
Well, I think there's probably some more thought process that'll go into it than that.
Well, you have to pre-qualify the guys. I'm just saying. I mean, we don't want to waste a lot of commission time.
It seems like this
who did
bus
you
is getting
pre-qualify,
bigger.
Don?
Yes, it's going to be a lot bigger.
I'm not even getting into it. I'm just paying for the tattoo.
It's just moved a mining equipment size bus.
Okay, good. All right, back to you guys. Help me out here. I'm getting in trouble again.
Well, and one of the reasons Tim talked around it a little bit, we're doing an upgrade to the equipment. It's not just tubs. We're also doing an upgrade to the software. And in doing so, we can prevent some of the things and the challenges that happen when you're going through this and trying to make sure everybody's points are in the right places, and you audit and you audit and you comb and you audit, and it's time consuming. The other portion, and without going into too much detail, but I think it's important, and it's important for the anglers here inside of this state to understand this, because it is one of their regular complaints that we see on social media. None of the tournament directors talk about their schedule, therefore they're going to fish on top of each other. There's nothing you can do about it. And there's a measure in place. Bass Junkies has a meeting Monday night with Justin of JML Outdoors to try to look at the pressure that's coming into our lakes and making sure that our schedules aren't just right on top of one another.
Where's NBC in the mix?
Squirrel.
Okay.
Want to talk about toes again?
Let's go back to toes.
For decades, I mean, you go back to the 90s, this has been a major ongoing annual issue as the tournament directors didn't talk. They start, look, we've only got a few lakes, okay? And we've got 9 or 10 different circuits for the most part. So somebody's going to be on somebody somewhere at some point in time. It's unavoidable, but, discussion up front on on logistics is appropriate.
It's something that has happened in the past between TBF and Fed Nation, Bass Fed Nation, and trying to make sure, because they shared members. And the same type of thing happens out in the public side of it when you look at Bass Junkies and JML. They're kind of sharing the same anglers to a certain extent. There's crossover. But what's most important is that when you're looking at two of the local tournaments that are trying to do it properly, executing and building a following and taking care of their anglers, I think Justin does a good job, especially with his Colorado stuff. Locally, I would have to go ahead and toot our horn.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to fish care, Rejuvenate has been a key portion of this as far as we're handling the fish. If a fish comes to the scale dead, we can't revive them. We're not that good. But I can tell you right now, we've got 100% of the live fish going back into the lake. And that is, right here.
Absolutely.
There's two tanks.
What happens to that dead fish?
He becomes somebody's wonderful fish taco.
Okay. Right on.
And it's basically the angler's responsibility.
Thank you.
At that point. And the other portion of it is we have two tanks. We have a hospital tank for anything that's in distress. We're using a non-invasive type of a way to go ahead and get those fish back around, and we clip weights to them. And literally they sit inside the tank and they belch. So we're not getting in and needling fish and doing all the rest of that. And I think does additional harm. We're doing things that are natural for the fish to do.
Those weights are amazing. Yeah, that's really changed the industry right there.
All right, good stuff. One more break. We'll come back and get this thing wrapped up. I'm Don McDowell.
Chris Cantrell.
Tim Price.
Greg Kruger.
Jeff Funhiller.
Toes.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
All righty, we're back. I want to thank all you guys and Team Jonovich for coming down. You guys are awesome. Keep up the great angling. Good job. All right, Mr. President, any final words on your behalf?
Well, with TBF, we just finished that up. As far as Alamo this last weekend, and a little over 11 pounds took it. The fish, listen, there's so much bait fish inside that lake right now. It's like going to a buffet and saying, now let's go get ice cream afterwards. It doesn't happen.
Except with Jeff.
Well, I would probably be, out of the three of us, I would be the one that would fall more into that suit. But
I'm trying to be respectful.
I know, but they every now and then I think they say there goes Burl Ives.
Really?
But
did you really say that, Jeff?
Putting words in his mouth.
I know Tim wouldn't.
I lost my train of thought on that. I did. I literally lost my train of thought. Anyways, the shad were so thick out there that literally it was like flashers going off inside of the water. It was just wild. But everything in that lake right now, I think next year we get some monsoon rain this summer. Alamo is going to be one of those places where everything's a football, fat, healthy, and with a smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a smile. Let's steer back over to Bass Junkies here real quick, though. We have to draw 5 people out of a hat to finish off the championship field. It's a Woo hat.
Woo Tungsten.
Woo! For Woo Tungsten. And Donnie, I'm gonna put you.
That was Woo, baby.
I'm gonna. Hey, if it's a big enough bass, you bet I'll say Woo, baby.
Yeah.
So Donnie, I'm gonna put you on this. I'm going to name these guys off real quick. Preston Smith and Chris Dix, Eric Neely and Chris Battershell, Eric Shook and Robert Casillas, Chris Ampersey and Jason Ampersey, Andy Gettle and Brian Dudley.
Andy Gettle and Dudley.
By the way, Andy said some wonderful things about you.
He did?
He's laughing right now.
He's lying.
I am, but he's laughing.
Yeah, nothing grows where Gettle goes.
And Marty Henriksen, Jeremy Mitchell, Tommy Lamanna and Sam Lamanna, Wayne Horton, and Jason Gillum. These are the 8 that are 16 through 23. They fished the events, and they fished 5 events. They're the last portion of this field. They're going to qualify for this, so we're drawing from the 8. So, Don,
5 out of the 8.
We're drawing from the 8, but we're drawing 5 of those out of this pool of 8 people.
So there's going to be 3 teams mad at me at the end of this.
Yes, Don.
That's kind of the objective.
This is why you're drawing.
Good luck, Don. Good luck.
All the toe stories on me.
Toe stories?
Yeah.
There's one.
All right, first chip. Tommy and Sam.
Chip 2.
Chip number 2. Ampersees.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Christmas card.
Wonder if they're listening.
Wayne and Jason, the third boat.
They probably tuned out after we started talking about toes, though.
Might have lost a third of the listeners.
I'm going to go to
boat number 4, Andy and Brian.
Whew. One more?
One more.
There you go.
I just wanted a dramatic pause. That was all.
Do we have a drum roll?
I don't know. If we have. Anyways, boat number 5, Marty and Jeremy. Congratulations, guys.
Woo-hoo.
You fill out that field of 20. Woo-hoo. I know there's some disappointed people, but the rules are what they are in place, and we've done our best to absolutely follow along with that bond. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We really look
Good
forward to you
news
guys.
is I will
Martinez.
not get visited by the National Guard from the air or the ground assault.
One of the biggest
that's
things.
a cool way to do it.
On behalf of Bass Junkies in general, we want to thank all the anglers for coming out and supporting us. Most of all, the guys that come out and help us, that come out and they help set up at the end of the events. I don't care if it's a youth event, the high school event that we just did, an adult event. These guys, they stick around and they help us tear down, especially on the long trips that we do. They know that, it takes time to put everything away, and they help us get it collapsed up.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and we really appreciate the fact that they stick around and they help out, and it gets us on the road faster so that we can get back to our families as well.
Well, you guys have done one hell of a job and certainly have set the bar for other tournament organizations. Thank you for doing what you're doing and taking care of the fish, taking care of the anglers. And definitely, if we can do something on the Cantrell tattoo option, I'm all in. I'll put the first $25 in. Okay,
if we can get it going, we're glad.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what we're doing with the fish care. If we have any fish that we have a problem with, they don't just go back to the angler. They go in an ice chest and we deal with them to make sure that they're going in somebody's tummy somewhere.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, Jeff's got, I think, 3 members of his crew that, they're always calling, and Jeff's nickname is Pescado at work anyhow. And
Pescado Mas Grande.
Yeah. He gets phone calls asking, does he have any fish? And,
Nice.
So, I mean, I'm sure they look forward to it. We don't, but it happens and we always take the fish back with us.
Chief, anything to add on behalf of you, the department, and or your staff?
No, we just keep fishing. I mean, that's how we make conservation happen, is through the hunters and anglers, and
that's the only way it happens.
Let's get some more people out there fishing. Take a friend fishing. Take a kid fishing. Get them engaged in the sport. It unfortunately has been on decline over the years. I mean, as popular as it is as a sport, I mean, it's bigger than golf in the state.
Absolutely.
But it's still needs some recruitment. And
nationally, it's we're more fishing as a sport has more gross generated dollars than golf and tennis combined.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Just a huge number.
1 year of fishing in Arizona with our anglers, you'd have to have like 3 or 4 Super Bowls in the state to compare to that economic impact. So, toot that horn. I mean, hunters and anglers are bringing a lot of money. Hug an angler. You know, they're the ones paying for the local economies in those communities.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are putting the money into conservation. So we got to get more of them, and we can do more things. That's kind of how it works.
Well, I want to hand out some kudos to your guys. Amber Lee's doing a great job. Curtis Gill, Dave Weedman, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them that I'm not mentioning, but you know, the main staff is really out there engaged and pretty amazing.
We've got a lot of passionate folks that work for us, and they want to see just as much as the anglers, you know, new state records coming out, and, you know, people having a good time. And
what was, speaking of state records, there was rumors of a state record largemouth. What was that final disposition?
I assume it was a rumor. I mean, the pictures I saw was nowhere near 10 pounds, nowhere near probably 8 pounds, but.
Really?
But that's what I saw, and I, you know, that angler never brought it in. But yeah, I wanted it more than anybody else. I want to see those fish coming out. So.
It's supposed to have been what?
I don't know. I heard a lot of rumors about it.
Yeah, I heard all the way from 13 to 25 pounds. So
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
You know, and in next 5 years, I won't be surprised with the genetics we're putting out there. Pure Florida strain, you know, some hybrids, those kinds of things between Florida and northern strain bass. We'll see another state record.
Wait a minute, you said hybrids. President's pointing at. Are you some kind of a hybrid?
Yeah, I'm not a hybrid. We see a lot of them at Havasu, and actually yesterday at Pleasant, running the high school championship, I think I seen a couple in there, but I'm not positive.
Hybrid what?
I was getting the smallmouth, largemouth.
Ooh.
Hybrid.
Jeez.
Yeah, what, you know, I was more referring to some of the northern strain, Florida strain, but yeah, I mean, it's I've seen a lot of different colorations and variations of bass over the years, and in a lot of water, especially Havasu. I mean, Havasu is really cool to look at the different variations and the different fish that are there, especially with the clear water that we see. You see a lot of modeling on the fish, which is kind of cool. You get a lot of, this was a spotted bass, this and that, but it's
we went through that.
Yeah.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
In fact, I tried to get spotted bass stocked here. That didn't go anywhere real quick.
No.
In fact, we're still, we didn't talk about Lee's Ferry. Any update on that?
Oh, Lee's Ferry. Yeah, you know, we're working on trying to get it stocked. We're pretty confident we'll be able to do so.
Any hope of getting smallmouth up there?
No. God, no. That should be our premier trout fish.
Would you agree with me?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Y'all are dangerous.
Extremely. You have any idea what Gary Stinson would do? Every time I bring it up, he just slobbers.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, we're working on getting it stocked. It hasn't been fishing very well, you know. And you pay a $300 guide up there, and you get 4 fish that day. That's not a good day. And so we really want to make sure that we make that fishing better, and that's what we're doing across the state, is looking at each individual fishery and saying, okay, is it meeting our metrics? What do we need to do to get there? Is it habitat? Is it genetics? Is it, you know, which is a much different approach than we had 5 years ago.
When's the slated stocking?
For Lee's Ferry?
Yeah.
We don't have a date yet, but we're working on it.
Okay. But it's going to come soon.
We're hoping that it'll be here by mid-June.
Any hope of using live bait up there, red wigglers, or are we still going to stay with?
You can use worms and bobbers just downstream of the Paria Riffle. It's a small little section of sandy beach right there.
Okay.
Upstream is two trout, our fish, fly and lure only.
That used to be a really great place to use a half a red wiggler.
Barbless?
It is still barbless up there too. Yeah, you just have to crimp your barbs. So yeah, I mean, it's
I have a problem cooking my parties. How about you, Toad? Wow, boy, this has been like a downhill slide all morning. All right, listen, we're going to get this thing cleaned up. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Check out the website, checkwetlandandprol.com. Like the Facebook, if you would. Sign up for the newsletter. You can do that on the website. I'm Don McDowell.
Chris Cantrell.
Tim Price.
Greg Kruger.
Jeff Funheller.
And Team Jonovich. Thank you guys for coming down. You're awesome. You guys are welcome here anytime. I'm Don McDowell. Take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat. We're out of here.